Good day. I've been pondering a question that I think many of you have probably thought about before and asked yourself before, and that is this question of why do some people get ahead and do well and others don't? I mean, haven't you ever seen someone that was financially set, had done really well for themselves, had the nice big home, had businesses, or had just done well, had climbed the corporate ladder and done very well for themselves, but their relationships just didn't seem to do well and flourish, and they would be on their second or third marriage, or their children struggled in life and just didn't do well, and so in some areas they didn't do well, but they were financially set. And yet perhaps the bigger question is looking around and thinking, well, I'm a nice person, I'm a good person, I'm a good spouse, I'm a good parent, I'm great in my community, I help and volunteer, I work very well at my church, but I'm struggling financially. Why am I not doing better? And I'm sure these are questions that we have all thought about, we've all observed, we've all seen. If nothing else, we've even asked ourselves these very, very questions. And I'm here today to talk about this topic because I want you to understand the reasons that we get tripped up sometimes in these areas. And here it is. The deal is you're dealing with two sets of laws in life. You're dealing with moral law and you're dealing with physical law. Moral law deals with matters of the heart, our intentions. Physical law deals with matters of action. What action are you taking? So let me give you a couple of examples here to clear this up. Let's take three people. These three people did not invest in their own retirement account as they were going through life. They didn't save anything for a rainy day. They didn't take 10 or 15 or 20% of their paycheck and save it. And they continue this behavior their whole working life, and they get to the end of their life and they're ready to retire and they have nothing. They have saved nothing. And they look at life and they say, life, we intended to save money. We intended to take a portion of what we've earned and invest it. We intended to fund our retirement account, but we didn't do it. And life is going to look at these three people and shrug its shoulders and say, there's nothing I can do for you, because these people broke physical law, and physical law judges you based on action. They did not take the actions to get what they wanted, so they ended up with nothing. Now let's look at another area. Let's say you've got problems with your marriage, and your spouse comes to you and says, hey, I am not happy. We don't do anything together anymore. There's no romance. There's no spontaneity. I feel like you've taken advantage of me time and time again. I feel like I'm just here to serve you, and I get nothing out of this. I do not want to be married to you any longer. That hits you like a ton of bricks. Just out of the blue, just hit you over the head, right? But you quickly gather a strategy and you set your mate down and you talk to them and you explain that you understand that you neglected them. You explain that you understand that your focus has been somewhere else. And you apologize for doing so, and you promise to redouble your efforts, and you ask for forgiveness, and you remind them of what you once had and tell them you can have that again, and you ask them to please reconsider. And they do reconsider, and they wipe the slate clean, and you start over again. Okay, in this case, you've put no action in. You've not invested in the marriage or the relationship. You're in trouble, but your spouse can judge you based on intentions and on your heart and make everything right. See, that's a moral law. You violated some moral law, and again, moral law judges you based on intention and on heart. Physical law does not. Physical law requires action. So if you're failing financially, there's some actions and practices that you're not doing. Maybe it's just budgeting. Maybe it's watching what you spend. Maybe it's watching where you spend it, how you spend it. Are you eating out? Or you've got to look at these things. Maybe your house is too big. Maybe you need to downsize. I don't know. But there's physical issues going on. There's actions that you're taking or not taking that are putting you in this position. On the other side of the coin, if you're struggling with your children, if you're struggling in your relationships, if you're struggling with people trusting you or interacting and having trust and integrity, then you're violating moral law, and you've got to get your heart right. You've got to get your intentions right. Do you understand the difference? Some people are really naturally good at the heart and the intention piece. Other people are really naturally good at the action piece. So that's why you have people in different areas that do well and fail in others. And if you want to raise things up in your moral area or raise things up in that physical area, then you've got to go work on that heart, or you've got to work on those actions. Hey, like and subscribe to this channel. Have an awesome rest of the day.